Okay, I'm going to stop and shoot some video for a minute. I'm about halfway through the rehive and cutout here. For you non-beekeeping types, this is what a few thousand really pissed off bees look like. This box was full of hive beetles. I've killed probably 20. Had wax moth in it. That stupid internal feeder that's full of honeycomb. And this is a brand new box I got from Mr. Spearman, which is really well made and is going to be their new house. I have a couple more. So, new smoker. And I'm going to have to cut the video off because I'm not really into getting shit stung out of me for a video. So, alright. Okay, I've been brushing bees out of the old box in here. I've got little knots of them in different places. They're not real happy with me right now, but they do seem to be moving in and out of the hive a little more readily. I just hope the queen made it over. It's always my big fear in doing this. The plastic frames already had comb on them, so they're just going to stay in there. And everything but the burr comb has been removed. The only thing I did not think about was a new lid before I started this little shenanigans, because the silicone on my feeders is not dry yet like I expected it to be. I don't really want to put them on there, so I guess I've scraped the burr comb off the old lid. I'm just going to put it back on there for now. It'll be okay. Everything else, all the frames are new, all that, so I guess I'll just reuse the old lid. I don't think it'll hurt anything for today. I've killed all the hive beetles I could find. All that kind of stuff. I'm fixing to smoke them and put a lid back on them. And hopefully I'll have a new lid for it in the next few days. Everybody seems to be moving the right direction now, at least. Rush everybody down. They're pissed off in that corner over there, but I may reach in there and grab them in a minute. But anyway, here you go. It's my hive. All right. This is part of why the pollen flow is on so good right now. It's probably a 25-foot, 30-foot tree. I remember when this one was so small, we almost cut it down and mowed over it. I've always been surprised that it did so well with that big oak. Unfortunately, I think that oak's starting to come to the end of its lifespan. But anyway, it's dropping. This tree has dropped new blossoms every day for probably the last 2 weeks, and I definitely see some more getting ready to drop. This tree came from 2 others that we have that are not doing well. 3 others. One I finally had to cut down this year to let the other one take off, but I've been pruning this tree trying to get it to grow correctly for years, and it's really taken off and done a good job. So, but they are all over it during the day. They're not today, but they've been all over it, and I'm thinking that's part of why there's so much honey in those hives. This is the old box. I've tried to get as much of the old burr comb out of it, and I tried to cut and replace as much comb as possible. I don't know how old this box is, but it's seen its better days. There were hive beetles all over it. I squished probably 15 or 20 of those little things. In the new hive and in this one, they transported over on some frames, but I think I got most of them. Why spray foam for an introducer? I don't know. It's not going to happen again. I think the super might, the actual deep might be salvable. I'm not 100% sure yet. We're going to try. We'll see what happens. It's in pretty sad shape. I'm just going to leave it here. A few bees milling around in it. I'm going to leave it here and let them take what they want out of it, and then I'll take that old comb and melt it or something. But anyway, here's one of the hive tops I bought from Spearman Lumber. They're really, really well made. I'm happy with them. I like his design pretty well from what I've read on them. It definitely allows for more bees up there. excuse the mess in the garage. Here's a couple more deeps that I bought from him, a couple more bottom boards and entrance reducers. Spearman's out of Warren, and I am going to shill for him for just a minute because I'm really happy with the quality of what I got. These are commercial grades. They do have some knots, but the quality of construction on them is very good. These actually may get hit with an orbital sander and stained. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet. Like I said, I am going to shill for Philip for a minute. He's definitely competitive. He's in home lot pretty often from what I understand. You know, he brought these to me last night. His prices are as good as you're going to get, and to be honest with you, he charges $2 to put the things together for you. And for $2, not risking splitting rabbits or making sure corners are solid and everything fits, I'll pay him $2 to put them together. If that was a commercial operation, it might be a different story. But anyway, that's some of Philip's stuff. That new Super I was putting everything in is one of Philip's that I painted last night. So, anyway. I thought y'all would appreciate the veil Mom built for me. Old postal hat with some plastic screen and tulle. Tuck it under a shirt and it works pretty well. And the Aggie duct tape. Okay, last video. Lid's on. The ladies are definitely unhappy with the moment. But they are mostly going back in the box. I did go ahead and put the bigger entrance reducer size out. This hive is very well established. There's probably, just comparing them to pictures I've seen and stuff, there may be 10 or 15 pounds of bees inside this box. There's almost not enough pulled frames to hold the number of bees. So, and the queen does have a good brood pattern going. I'm not happy with one of the brood frames. It looks like it may be very old comb. They may be trying to abandon part of it. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to talk with a couple people about that. But they do have 2 good frames of brood, or a frame and a half of good brood. I did get stuck leaving a couple of those plastic frames in. I didn't want to completely cut. I just cut what I had to, and then rubber banding it. I'm being dive bombed. May have to move back here in just a minute. They don't like me talking. Let me move back some. I'm gonna get stung. Anyway. The rest of the frames are all some that I built last night and had built. Just standard Langstroth wooden frames with Duragilts in them. As they get off the ground, we're having a fire ant problem. A few of them ended up dead, but it happens. So those 2 plastic frames were pulled. This is the internal feeder, which I don't want to jack with it too much more because they get kind of pissy, but see all the comb built in it and everything? This thing is completely useless. I really highly recommend against them. I'll go snap a picture here in just a second of the ones I bought from Philip Spearman. They're top feeders. They would be on today, but the silicone didn't set last night because of the humidity. We're running up around 100% humidity right now. It's my other hive. They got a new frame of Duragilt today. I pulled the plasticell out of them. They're not too pissed off. But anyway, don't put the internal feeders in. That's been just a nightmare, and that's what caused about 99% of this. That and improper frame spacing. So I did have to cut about 8 pieces of comb to get these girls back spaced somewhat correctly. One of those frames is still a little thick, but I'm going to leave it like that. That is the old lid. I'm going to remedy that shortly. Just need to get a piece of plywood. I just scraped all the burr comb off of it. This is full of honey. So all that comb that's down in there is full of honey. I did take one little, maybe 4-inch long piece that broke off and had fallen on the ground, had a couple of fire ants on it. I actually brushed the ants off and snitched that. It's, maybe 100 cells of honey at most, so it's not much. But we just wanted to take some honey from them. It's okay honey. It's not clover honey, obviously, but it's decent. I'm going to see if I can get it pulled out tonight. A couple ideas for doing that. Anyway, this is Hive 1 and Hive 2, and then they may get renumbered, I don't know. Hopefully I'll have enough hives by the end of the summer to need numbers, but I'm going to leave that feeder with them to strip it, and I'm going to leave them alone for a week or two, and then I will come back and put a feeder on top of both of these hives. Maybe replace both lids too, although that's a good lid. Anyway, thanks.